The Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division after 63 games played, a record of 35, 25, and 3. 73 points has the Predators currently in a wild card spot, 10 points behind an automatic qualifying spot, which is third place in the Central Division, and 12 points behind first place in the Central Division. We'll update the entire division, the wild card race, here in just a moment. Let me give you these couple of numbers first. The Nashville Predators will close out a homestand in their next game against Buffalo Sabres. So on home ice, the Preds have a record of 17-5-1. The Predators scored 202 goals this season. They've given up 194 against. That's a goal differential of +8. We'll get into the Sabres and the Preds here in just a second with a microscope on that matchup. But first, let's talk about the updated standings for the Central Division. The three-team lead has gotten even tighter, and the only team with the advantage right now seems to be the second place Winnipeg Jets. And I say that because they have 3 games in hand over the first place Dallas Stars and the third place Colorado Avalanche. 85 points to 83 points separates the 3 teams there at the top of the Central Division. It is going to come down to the final periods of the season to determine the 3-team lead, and somebody in that 2-3 matchup in the playoffs for the Central is going to have one hell of a difficult time moving forward. The Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place, just outside the 3-team weave, but in the wild card pack, the Predators have 73 points. The St. Louis Blues in fifth place have 67 points, so the Predators are 6 points clear of St. Louis and 9 points clear of sixth place Minnesota, who are at 64 points. The Arizona Coyotes have fallen completely off of a cliff, and yes, I get the joke. They are in seventh place with 55 points, and the Chicago Blackhawks are continuing to be in last place, 37 points. What do they have, rent control down there or something? In the wild card, that's got you updated on the Central Division standings. The wild card's latest standings see the Vegas Golden Knights taking a tumble out of the top 3 in the Pacific and being displaced by the Los Angeles Kings. Vegas, now in the wild card pack, holds wild card 1 with 73 points. The Nashville Predators also have 73 points, are in wild card 2 due to tiebreakers. On the outside looking in, first team is Seattle and then St. Louis, each with 67 points on the season. So the Predators and the Vegas Golden Knights have a 6-point cushion on playoff positioning right now, but I think the Predators feel a little better about their 6-point cushion in the wild card race than Vegas suddenly does, finding themselves trying to figure out what the hell the wild card race is. They have taken a significant tumble, and it happens to somebody at this time every single year. Now, for the Predators, I mentioned they wrap up this home stand, and then it is back out onto the road for 4 consecutive, including back-to-back matinees on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is in Columbus. Sunday is in Minnesota. Wednesday in Winnipeg. So the Preds off Monday and Tuesday of this next week. First time they've had 2 days off in a while. On the 16th of March, the Predators will be in Seattle to wrap up that 4-game road trip. And on the 19th of March, the Predators back home to face off against the San Jose Sharks. Now, the season series between the Predators and the Buffalo Sabres is the second of 2 regular season meetings. The first meeting took place on December the 3rd. Nashville Predators won 2-1 in Buffalo. Stars 34-35 picked up the victory. Forsberg and Trennan picked up the goal. One of those players will be unable to score for the Nashville Predators. More on that coming up here in a matter of moments. Luukkonen got the start, took the loss for Buffalo, 27 out of 29. Olofsson scored the only goal for the Sabres. Now, the Buffalo Sabres are at 29-5 on the season overall, 63 points, 6th in the NHL. On the road, a reasonable record of 15-12-4. They've scored 184. They've given up 189. That's a goal differential of -5. And the Buffalo Sabres are coming off back-to-back scenario. Played last night, heading into Nashville now. 2 road games in 24 hours. Let's go back, though, and recap the most recent sample size, and we'll close it out with last night's game. On the 27th of February, it was a 3-2 loss at Florida, but everybody loses in Florida. 2/29, it was a 3-2 overtime win at Tampa Bay. On the 2nd of March, it was a 7-2 win versus Vegas. On the 3rd of March, a 5-2 loss versus the Winnipeg Jets. And most recently, meaning last night, on March the 6th, it was a 2-1 overtime loss at the Toronto Maple Leafs. It was Luukkonen picking up the loss in the overtime. 25 out of 27, 2 goals against. So when it comes to the matchup between these 2 teams, goals for, these are updated numbers. The Buffalo Sabres at 2.90 is 24th overall in the NHL. The Predators at 3.17 is 15th in the NHL. When it comes to goals against, Predators giving up 3.08 per game is 18th in the league. The Buffalo Sabres giving up 2.98 per game is 13th best in the league. In the shots for category, Buffalo generates 31.3 on net per game. That's 12th overall. The Nashville Predators generate 31.1 shots on net per game. That is 14th in in the shots against category. 30.3 for Nashville is 20th. 29.1 for Buffalo is 6th overall in the NHL. So the Sabres, the 6th best team in the NHL in the shots against category, only giving up 29.1 shots per game, something to keep your eye on. The power play for the Nashville Predators, converting at 19.5%, is 18th overall in the NHL. 42 out of 245 is the raw data. The power play for the Buffalo Sabres, converting at 16.8%, that's 26th in the NHL. 30 conversions on 179 opportunities. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Nashville Predators are killing off 76.4% this season. That's their rate. 24th is their ranking. 46 power play goals against is a big number. That is a very big number. 29% is the kill rate for these Buffalo Sabres. 18th overall in the league is their ranking. 40 power play goals against on the season. Now, before we get into the individual statistics, because this is going to affect the individual statistics, it is the eve of the trade deadline, so we have already seen some momentum. First-year rookie GM, if you will, Barry Trotz for the Nashville Predators, has already made 3 moves. None of them would be considered significant. The most important immediate for the team would be a 5th-round pick this year going to the Chicago Blackhawks for Beauvillier. Beauvillier was a player on the New York Islanders when Barry Trotz was the head coach there. He's been a reasonably good veteran, about a half a point per game, so he's usually around 40-something points per season, but he certainly has some playoff experience, reliable, and a good fit for this Nashville Predators team. The only player moving out immediately from this Nashville Predators team that you would be most familiar with, of course, is Yakov Trenin. Trenin and a prospect are headed off to the Colorado Avalanche. That is for a 2025 third-round pick overall. Yakov Trenin, it was obvious, was going to be moved, an impending free agent, and Trenin's going to get an opportunity to go to the Colorado Avalanche and make a playoff run with the Avs. So Trenin off to Colorado. Return is a third-round pick in 2025, 5th-round pick in 2024 to Chicago for Beauvillier, and the Predators also made a claim, Jarrett Anderson-Dolan, off of waivers from the LA Kings. So that's going to do it for the transaction wire, but we're going to be very busy over the next 24 hours. As a matter of fact, that's why our next episode is going to come immediately after the trade deadline ends so that we can jump in the bunker and have a show ready to go if the Nashville Predators are to make any other moves. Now, let's talk about the individual statistics for each of these teams, because, again, this is an effect on both these teams. Middlestat was the team leader in points for the Buffalo Sabres. He had 14 goals and 33 assists and 47 points for the Sabres, but now he's been traded to the Colorado Avalanche, so he'll join his brand new teammate Yakov Trenin out in Denver. So the new leading scorer for the Buffalo Sabres on the roster is Dahlin, 15 and 31 for 46. Skinner's got 20 goals and 20 assists for 40 points. Tuck's got 17 and 23 for 40. And Peterka's at 20 goals and 18 assists for 38 points on the season. The Nashville Predators individual statistics, Philip Forsberg back to over his point per game pace on the season. 30 goals as well, his 4th 30-goal season. 34 assists, 64 total points. Roman Josi, 15 goals and 46 assists for 61 points. Ryan O'Reilly, he's not the captain, but damn, he's got captain qualities. 23 goals, 31 assists for 54 points. Nyquist is at 17 and 36 for 53. And Tommy Novak, all he does is make plays, all for 34 points this season. His breakdown goes 13 plus 21. UC Saros in net, anticipated 26, 21, and 3, 907 save percentage, 2.85 goals against that, with 2 shutouts on the season, with Luukkonen going last night and picking up the loss. He will not have the opportunity for the rematch. Well, I guess he will have the opportunity, but I don't think the head coach is going to make that particular move. I expect Levi to be in net tonight, 9-7-2 for Buffalo, and 8.91 save percentage, and move the puck. 3.30 goals against the I have pucks for paperweights, so who doesn't? That's what they're for, isn't it? 3.30 goals against average. That's got you all set up for the Nashville Predators, who have a tiny bit of a different look. Yakov Trenin out of line. That's going to give somebody an opportunity to get back in until Beauvillier can get here and get his opportunity to start. We'll talk more about him when we wrap up the trade deadline on the next episode, but want to get you updated on those Nashville Predators roster moves going into tonight's game, because the lineup's going to start to look different. We're going to have a whole lot of movement after tonight's game. I don't know how much will be with the Nashville Predators, but Barry Trotz so far fairly active. 3 different transactions in this particular day. So we'll keep you updated on all of it moving forward. Nashville Predators, Buffalo Sabres at Bridgestone Arena. You're all set for it. Let's go back now. Talk about the previous game. It's called the Reverse Sports Full Game Recap. It's coming next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.